Hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining live. This is Aryana Rollins. What would change for you if you were able to let go of projects, commitments, and energy drains instantly so you could focus on the golden egg projects into successful completion? So hopefully this show, and if you're listening to the replay, you're going to learn more about how to get your manifesting energy back that's been tied up in unfulfilling projects or they're no longer relevant. A little bit about School of Self-Revolution. We teach you how to use your brain in the way it was designed. Really, it takes some retraining. So you're able to accomplish your intentions from a place of inner peace. You'll notice relationships improve, most importantly, the one with yourself, as you feel more confident in your expression and in who you truly are, your essence self. You'll feel empowered even when life isn't going your way. All we do is found it on practical life skills that you can apply to transform who you are being in the world to attract the positive, life-affirming experiences you'd like to have. So while we're waiting for others to join us, there is a link in the chat bar. If you're not familiar with it, you can click on the left-hand side and you can download the document. This is your free gift for joining us, and we're going to walk through this as an exercise. If you don't have a way to print it out, that's absolutely fine. Grab a piece of paper and a pencil while others are joining us, and then you'll get ready for the exercise. Oh yeah, there's a new format to our radio shows this year. I'm excited for this. On occasion, we'll have special guest conversations to illuminate the topic we're covering, and they can also share their gifts with you. So meet our first guest, Regina, from alignwithyourdesign.com. Regina is a busy entrepreneur, and she's a dear friend of mine and a work colleague. She's going to share how she used this project inventory process tool that we're going to go through in this class today, and how it helped her to recapture some of her enthusiasm for her current projects. So Regina, hello and welcome. Would you like to share a little bit about what you do?
Thank you, Aryana. Yes, I am passionate about helping people be at their full self-expression in all areas of their life. I do help professionals, professionals that are really good at what they do, but nobody knows about them. Well, I help experts get recognized and provide them with training and tools to build their confidence and to be more, to be found for what they are, experts.
Beautiful. I know you and I have worked together for many years now. We both support one another, and we see things very similarly. So welcome to being the first guest on the show, and we'll get into some of the content today, and then I'll be asking you some questions how you got on with the exercise. And then at the end, if you have a way for people to get in touch with you, I'll invite you to share that. You can put it in the chat bar, a link, and they can join you in what you're doing, your endeavors. So let's get on with how to channel your energy into life importances. Everything we do in life requires energy, be it physical or emotional, and it's energy that gets us moving forward. It's the passion, it's the juice, it's the inspiration that literally gets us out of bed in the morning, let alone working on ourselves, working on our business and our career. Now, for some people, by middle age or so, they notice their energy is not as abundant as it used to be. Maybe they can't stay up as late, or they can't get as much done during the day. And we're told, definitely by doctors and by the mainstream world, is that a drop in energy is to be expected as we age. Now, most of us blindly accept that statement because that's what our experience tells us, and that's what we keep hearing. But what if losing energy as we age is a myth that we simply accepted? One of the things we do at the School of Self-Revolution is we challenge those myths, and we start to look at things a little differently. And instead of reacting to our history, and that's the way things have always been, and that's what we're going to always do, we question it with a little curiosity, a little bit of wondering. And let's question today, this concept of energy, and it starts to drop as we age. What if there was an entirely different reason as to why energy drops? Well, in this show, we're going to be talking about this concept and looking at it from the perspective of where you are investing your energy, in what projects, in what commitments, whether it's a relationship, whether it's work. Where are you investing yourself? And perhaps that's where the energy drains are going. So you're going to learn how to do this quick exercise, project inventory process, and how to start to gather some of that energy back so you can pour it into what's going to be most meaningful, that golden egg, so to speak. One of the best gifts I can give you is clarity, focus, so you can get something that's precious back, your time, your enthusiasm, your passion, your joy, your compassion, your love of life. If you're not waking up every day with this feeling of, I love my life, there's room for change, right? There's room for growth. And my hope and passion is that you get connected and engaged with this inner essence, this true essence of who you are. And as that grows and blossoms and gets bigger, then you're going to be saying more and more, I love my life, I love my life, I love my life. And that there's this inspiration that's going to flow into whatever you're doing that becomes contagious to others, especially if you're self-employed. It's that energy that connects people to you deeply, and they want to be around it. And a lot of times when you're self-employed, people don't know why they're drawn to work with you. They just know that there's something about you. There's something to your message. And when they trust that small little quiet voice inside, then they get benefits. Now, you being truly authentically who you are and your most powerful self, well, that's going to make it easier for people to find you, like what Regina was saying just a few minutes ago. So we're going to delve into this important subject about energy and where you're putting your energy. And as always in these radio shows, I'm going to give you some tips on how you can maximize your time on Earth. And today we're talking about energy, so you can get the most important things done in your life. So we're going to talk about uncovering why you're drained. And again, it's not what you think. And two, find projects that will fulfill and uplift your true essence, your true self-intentions. And third, a surefire way to drop and release dead weight projects that are stealing your energy. So for those of you who've just joined us, if you'd like, you can download in the chat bar. I put a link there, and that's the document we're going to be working with. That's your free gift for joining us live. Thank you so much, especially at this short notice. It says this is an important topic, I think, for all of us. And this exercise I'm going to walk you through is not something that you're just going to do once. I invite you, if you are feeling overwhelmed or you're not sure what's most important for you to spend your time on today, pull that document out, review it. Have you suddenly been sidetracked? So let's go on to the next slide here. And let's see, it should be showing you the document. Let's see, where's the document? Hold on, yep, there it is. Okay, get your manifesting energy back. So I'm going to ask Regina to step forward a little bit and talk about, because I sent her this exercise a few days ago when we were having one of our check-in conversations. We do, every Monday we do, okay, what are we going to work on next? What's most important? And naturally, this subject came up. So Regina, would you like to kind of share what insights came out of it for you? And then I'll go through the instruction on how to do it.
Yeah, well, it's really timely, Aryana, for you to give me this document, because I have been getting feedback from several different people saying I'm so busy. And I really wanted to look at, well, what am I so busy with? Or why is it that people perceive me as being so busy? And I was amazed at how many things or plates I am spinning, projects that I'm working on. But by going through the whole process, I really saw where my passion is. And also, I made a different choice today. Something that I was going to do this morning, I didn't do because of doing this exercise. And I also realized a couple of things that I felt it. I felt uncomfortable with the project or the proposed project, that they didn't get past onto my agreements, that I actually agreed to do it. So it was really very, very timely and very helpful for me.
Fabulous, fabulous. Thank you for it. And I like that you got some passion, because if we are following the breadcrumbs of our passion, then what happens is more gets more. If we're doing a project from a place of forcing, and we have to, then we're having to muster our vital life force and pour that into the project, which is a good understanding as to why we can get drained, and why, as we age, so to speak, that our energy goes down. Because it's like, as we mature, part of being responsible, we're told, is that you finish what you start. And I'd like you to start to question that, all of you. Should you finish what you start? Are there things that you started in a moment of inspiration, or, oh, this is a good idea, and maybe it's not relevant anymore. Maybe it needs to be let go. I've been working with a client in the UK. He's a spiritual teacher, and I recall him saying that he sent me a book, which is a fabulous book. It's The Keys to Transformation, and it's so insightful for those of you who are on a spiritual path, and you maybe are having some wonderings about things that you're noticing about the planet, about yourself, and how you work best. Stopped trusting those parts of you, that deep inner knowing. Well, this book really describes a lot of it, and I call it kind of a wanderer's guide for those people who have not fit in with mainstream society. And I know I haven't, and I know one of my best friends, Regina, has not, which is, I think, part of what joins us together. But anyway, what I was excited to talk to him about, I said, hey, I just finished your book. Where's the second one? I can't find it. And he said, I've started quite a few books, but it's just that the energy's not there to complete it. And I loved how present he was to that. There wasn't any shaming or putting himself down that he didn't write the second book, which he mentioned about it in the first one. He said, I really wished I didn't put that I was going to write a second book in there. Well, that's hindsight, right? But even him, that he has all of this wisdom and knowledge coming through him, and it wants to turn up in books. But one project may start one day, and his energy, if he's connected to his inner guidance, is going to say, no, this is where you need to go. And luckily, for all the people he's helped across the world, he listens to that. I invite you all to listen to that. Instead of draining your vital life force and doing this thing that we're trained by the commercials, Nike, just do it. If you feel you're forcing yourself, I'd like you to pause, step back, ground, and center yourself, however you'd like to do it. I do have some exercises on the at the School of Self-Revolution. If you'd like to learn how to ground and center yourself, reach out to me on the Contact Us page, and I'll give you a little gift of an audio. Because sometimes when we're in that place of forcing and pushing, that we have to get something done, if we step back, we might find a better way to do it. Or we might find that it's no longer relevant. Or we might find that we have energetic resistance in us, which we might call contradiction. Now, sometimes that contradiction can float to the surface when we're about to break through something. We're about to make a change. It's blocking your life force, your energetic life force. How do you know which one it is? Well, we're going to go through an exercise, and hopefully some clarity is going to come up. So here you can see the document we're going to be talking about. The first column is the project, and second column is the outcome, benefit upon completion. So if you successfully completed the project, and the people, meant involved. So it looks like this document, this slide doesn't show the whole document, which is good because I have it here in front of me. Okay. So I'd like to open up if anybody has any questions, comments. How is this landing for you? You can unmute or you can type in the chat bar if you'd like. Or you can wait till we get on to the next exercise. Okay. All right, so let's go back here. So let's start this project inventory process. So in that left column, I'd like you to write down all your open projects. And I'm not talking about simply a project for work. I'm talking about everything that you're committed to. And if you have a decision you have to make about something, be aware that's also part of the energetic drain because you're putting off making a decision. And if you wait too long on making a decision for an opportunity, then what happens is that by default, your unconscious mind is going to make a decision, and that may not be in your best interest. It could be from a place of fear. Oh, I don't know if I can do that. And so the unconscious mind is going to say, okay, I guess we're not going to do that. Nope. Let's bring up that fear. Let's focus on that fear. You're not going to be good at this. So putting off making decisions can be very draining. If you've ever seen the movie, it's called Up in the Air. And I can't remember the actor's name. He's one of my favorite actors. It's slipping my mind right now. But anyway, he speaks about at this particular speech he does. It's one of his regular speeches that he does it, traveling around the country. And it's showing a backpack. And he puts the backpack on the desk and he starts to unpack it, It's like, okay, you've got your family in there. You've got your work in there. You've got your house in there. You've got everything that's in your cupboards in your garage in there. And all of this energetically is attached to you. For you to be able to even get up in the morning, all of your thoughts are about all the belongings that are in your life and everything that you need to get done in the day, right? Imagine if we're waking up with this heavy backpack, right? And we're having to get out of bed. Well, it's not going to be so like spontaneous and jumping out of bed, is it? We've got this heavy backpack on. So I'm inviting you to write down everything you're working on right now, including your job, even your partnership. And if you're in a relationship, that's an energy commitment, right? What are your tasks in the home? Do you do the shopping, the cooking, the washing up? Those are projects. But you don't think about them like that, do you? That becomes kind of automated. Of course I have to do that. But do you know that it takes your time to do that? So if you wonder why you didn't get to finish that second book, well, your energy may be tied up in life maintenance matters, which is all we all have to do that. But why I'm saying this is that you may need to start to be more gentle on yourself, that you're not getting as much done. That's part of the healing, isn't it? To accept where you are right now in your life. Not that you're losing energy because you're aging, but perhaps your energy is tied up in things that are not feeding you, nourishing you, giving back to you. Okay. So does anybody have any questions on that first column? Are there any comments at all here? Okay, great. In the second column, you're going to record the benefit. Why did you start the project? Or why did you make this commitment? What was the outcome you'd hoped for? So let's say something simple like a work project is maybe you want to start to create a new course. Well, there's going to be a payoff, right? A benefit to you and to others. As you get clear on the why, this is going to light you up, bring some more passion and enthusiasm, and it's going to reaffirm that that's right for you to do. As you write down, you can't come up with a really passionate why. There's no key benefit if you finish that course or that book, or then you can then start to review it in a new way and say, maybe that's no longer relevant. Okay, so you're going to write down the outcome, the benefit upon completion. Okay, in your current life today, I'll give a quick story. When my son was little, I homeschooled him, so we had a lot of activities outside the home. Now, I wanted to be productive, so while he was at a park day or a class, I would do some work, and I started knitting this creamy white sweater with organic wool, and it was gorgeous, kind of cashmere, kind of wool, soft. And by the time he was 12 or 13, I had done, I guess, one sleeve, and I'd done the whole back, and I'd started to do the front of it. Well, it had sat in the garage in this bag years and years. So one day I was clearing out the garage and tossing things, and I found this. And it had actually, no, let me back up. I had written down the knitting project on the first time I created this exercise, the project inventory process. The knitting project was on there. And as I recalled, I didn't even know where it was. Then I remember it was in the garage. It was in this box. It had moved several houses with me, and it was still there begging for me to complete it, energetically pulling on me. Remember you started this? You want to finish this, don't you? That's how everything is in your life. Whether you're conscious of it or not, it's asking for your attention. So what did I do? I threw it away. Even though it had value, perceived value, it was a drain. Okay, so right now you're going to write down the benefit, the big why, and then in the next column is, I'd like you to focus on the area around your heart. And as you see yourself completing that project, you're looking at the benefit, you're writing that down, and you're looking at who's involved. Well, okay, my son wasn't really involved in that project. It was me. But what is it taking me away from? That might be interesting to also write down. So you write down all the people involved. If it's a work project, maybe you're launching a new course and you have a web person involved, maybe you have a graphic designer involved, maybe you have some other technical people involved, an editor involved. Okay, all those people are needed to bring that project to completion. See that? In this last column, so you're focusing inside, you're closing your eyes, you're grounding yourself. In fact, I'm going to walk you through a quick grounding exercise now. If you're driving, please don't do this, okay? If you're in a place where you can close your eyes, put your feet flat on the floor, I invite you to do so. And just give yourself permission to disconnect from the outside world and feel more deeply inside in your beingness. Okay, take a deep breath in of peace and calming. And exhale out the earlier part of your day. Picture yourself in a beautiful nature scene. Maybe you're in the mountains or the seaside, or you're walking in a beautiful tree-lined neighborhood. A deep breath in of that high-quality air in one of your perfect nature spots. Exhale out the earlier part of the radio show and any free-floating thoughts. Very good. Bring your awareness to your feet flat on the floor. And imagine out of the bottom of your feet are your own unique, deep roots, somewhat like a tree, grounding you, centering you. Imagine you can follow one of those roots all the way to the center of the earth, and imaginarily plant it in a circle of light that you see. It's grounding you and centering you. Very good. Allow any tenseness, any resistance, any againstness that you might be holding in your body, allow it to flow down, 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 out your feet into the soil of the earth below. You might feel a bit of tingling as it leaves your body. Good. Bring your awareness to the area right above your heart in the center of your chest. And I'd like you to focus on this area. And I'd like you to imagine that when I ask this question, something will pop up. It could be a thought, it could be a visual. Could be just an intuitive awareness. Whatever it is fine, or it could be nothing. So I'm going to ask you this question, focusing on this area, everyone. Please show me a memory where I felt relaxed, fulfilled, satisfied, peaceful, maybe even loved. And when something comes up, ask my true self, my true essence. Were you present in that memory? The part of me that's my highest self, that knows what's for my highest and best good to do, my integrity. Were you present? So you usually kind of get this fluttering yes if it's a peak moment in your life. Now, by the way, if you got nothing, you can open your eyes when you're ready. If you got nothing, that's fine. This is a learned skill to be able to communicate with our intuitive mind, and it's something we teach at the School of Self-Revolution. So now, why I did that is, see that column where it says yes, no? I'm going to go on to, right, the yes, no. Great. Is you're going to focus your awareness on that area around your heart. Put your finger on that first project and say, will completion of this project bring me closer to greater ease, joy, harmony, or fulfillment in my current life today? And you do that for each project. And feel free to come back and you can listen to the radio show again. But for now, hopefully you got a yes or a no so we can move forward in the exercise here. Okay, so see, we're going to go to the last slide here. So say you got a no, like I did on that, project, and throwing away the knitted, half-knitted sweater. So if I got a no, clarity, right? Get rid of it. But what if I got, not sure, okay? Well, that's a reconsider. And it could be you can reconsider it in a month. Maybe you're not really clear and ready to let it go. Or maybe there's still some opportunity or possibility with it. What if you get a clear no? Like, it's not appropriate. Get rid of it. Well, and if you don't know how to resolve it, how to release it and get rid of it in your calendar, you can take that project, write it on a new piece of paper, blank piece of paper, and write the name of the person it's going to be impacting. So maybe you have to release yourself. Maybe you are someone who likes to give to charitable organizations and your energy is spread too thin and you need to contract and you need to focus more on what's important to you and maybe your home life or your work life. So maybe you don't know how to communicate that. You can say, again, focus on the area around your heart. How do I best inform this person that this project is no longer appropriate? And by when? And you might get an intuitive way to say it. Write it down. Because there's such inner truth and depth inside when you're connected with your essential being. That's your true essence. You'd write that down. Now, if you feel a bit nervous about saying that, well, then you might just wait a day or so and get really comfortable, get peaceful, and then approach that person to release it. What will happen is that energy will start to flood back into you because part of your manifesting life force is committed to fulfilling that task. And as you pull your energy back and you apply it to something that's more meaningful, a clear yes on your project inventory process form, you're going to get an investment twofold, because what's going to happen is that you're going to get this passionate infusion of energy, almost like energy starts to come from outside to light up that project, and you know it's right for you because you're getting energy flooding back every time you work on it. That's another clue. If every time you're working on a project, it's a drain and it's really hard and it's not life-affirming, there's one of two reasons. One, it's not the right project for you, or two, you have energetic resistance. You've got contradiction. You're not clear to proceed. What do you do with that? Well, I'll recommend, we've got a basic course. It's called The Basics of Manifesting, and you can find that on the schoolofselfrevolution.com site. It's a go at your own pace, home study course that will teach you how to clear that contradiction so that if that project is important to you, there's going to be a big payoff that you stay in inspired action. Okay, great. So say you have a yes. Well, you're going to be excited. You're now invited to prioritize the yes projects. Take one action today on the highest priority projects before going to sleep. Say you have more than one, though. Let me tell you that. Prioritize them. I think I already said that. But say number one, number two, number three. And with all your discipline, all your will, try to focus on the one project to completion before you go on to the next. There's some awareness I've had about this. I'm finishing up a project which is completing a second book in a trilogy of books that I've been writing over these years. And I noticed that it takes some time for me to get into the mindset of that book so that when I start, okay, I'm going to start to edit this book. If I say I'm only going to allow half an hour, well, it could take me half an hour to get in the mindset and get into the groove. But once I'm in the groove, I could stay happily working on editing for 2 to 3 hours. So I'd like you to be aware that when you follow through to commitment on a project, there's a kind of priming the pumps, and you're going to be able to get more done, and it'll be more fulfilling, and then move on to the next one. Okay, so we're about to wrap up. Let's see. And yes, I see that Regina put in a way to contact her, alignwithyourdesign.com. Thank you for that, Regina. So I'd like to open up the radio shows. Anybody have any insights they'd like to share as they did this exercise? Anything that they became aware of? Anything that stands out, an insight you got? Okay, you can always, it can come to you later on. So I invite you to post on the Facebook page any insights that you got. So as we wrap up, I'd just like to close it with, I don't bring anything new to you. What I do is give you tools that you can apply to any situation that's not ideal to make it more enhancing and help you unleash the power of your true essence self. And lastly, I'll say, I know you probably know, I know this for sure, we can't control what happens to us in our life, but this I know is that we can control the meaning that we give what happens to us. And when you control your inner story, you tell yourself as you go through life, you are master of your world. You have the edge, you have the advantage. And I invite you to take time for yourself this year to learn effective strategies that enable you to become the director of your mental and emotional state so you decide how your body and your life and your business and career will unfold. Thank you for sharing this time with me. I know your time is precious and valuable, and I respect it and honor you for the dedication to your personal growth and development. I appreciate you. Bye, everyone. And the recording will be up. And I look forward to seeing you on future radio shows. Much love to you.